Today, I'm going to be talking about every single fight scene in Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Round 1 is Wenwu versus Zhongli. Wenwu asks Zhongli for directions to Ta Lo, but she just tells him to get lost. She doesn't appear to be intimidated by him, and honestly, I don't blame her. Those rings may be powerful, but it honestly looks like he just put a slinky on his arm. He shoots his rings at her, and then she dodges them like a boss, but then she throws her hat at him for style points, I guess. She's able to avoid Wenwu's attacks for a little bit before he finally catches her and reels her in. They start making googly eyes at each other, and now I'm convinced they're not even fighting anymore. Wenwu shoots his rings at her, but she dodges them Matrix style and does an aerial afterwards. When he tries to get them back, Zhongli intercepts and somehow gains possession of them. The fight ends with her creating a sphere and she throws them at him, which sends him flying, and he lands in a pond or a mini waterfall. I'm not really sure. The fight ends, and that's how I met your father. In order to get a romantic partner, you have to try to kill them first. Noted. Our next fight scene is when Shang-Chi and Katie are taking a bus when a guy comes up to them and asks Shang-Chi to give him his pendant. The fight begins when Shang-Chi gives the guy a 1-inch punch in slow-mo. After he pushed Katie, he does some parkour to prevent the necklace from getting snatched, and he even does this cool Jackie Chan jacket maneuver.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Clev coming at you live on the bus. I actually did take a little bit of martial arts as a youth, so I'm gonna try and grade this fight as we're going.
He does a double punch to split kick to knock out 2 other assassins.
Holy shit. Who are you?
Razorfish joins the fight, and man, that blade is super cool, but I bet surgery for that kind of thing must have cost an arm and a leg. Shang-Chi ducks when he swings, but the blade cuts the wire that shuts off the braking mechanism.
Sorry.
At one point, the bus driver gets knocked out and Katie takes over.
I'm not gonna handle this. Every time I try to drive a bus, I get yelled at.
Hey, same here, although replace bus with car.
Open the door, please.
He notices the back half of the bus is about to break off, and he pushes the assassin toward that half, and then he tells everyone else to go to the front. When he gives the signal, Katie turns the bus and the back half snaps off with Razorfist inside. Unfortunately, Razorfist was able to snag the pendant. On his way to find his sister, Shang-Chi winds up at the Golden Daggers Club. He gets convinced to participate in a fight that would be streamed on the dark web. Huh, that's not sketchy at all. And you think a viral sensation would have an awesome and intimidating name, right?
Fight we've all been waiting for! The incredible viral sensation! All the way from San Francisco, USA! It's Rockstars!
Well, that's disappointing. It turns out his opponent is his sister, Ling, and she does not look happy. Shang-Chi says he knows why she's upset, but before he has time to explain himself, she grabs him by the waist and throws a couple kicks at him. He eventually gains the upper hand and throws her over his shoulder. Ling grabs his arm so she can land a couple more kicks and then wraps her leg around his neck so he can bring him to the ground. Ling pins him to the floor and she punches him a couple times. Shang-Chi finds a way to get her off and dodges a few more kicks before she lands on him and then does a backflip. He tries to warn her that their dad is coming out and says that he doesn't want to fight. We see in a flashback that the reason why Ling is upset is that Shang-Chi left her when they were kids. The fight ends with a slow-mo kick to the face. It's not long until our next fight scene when the Ten Rings assassins break into the fight club. Shang-Chi smashes a window in an attempt to escape, but it doesn't take long for the assassins to find them. He swings around one of the structures and takes down 2 of them. He jumps to a lower level. When they try to follow him, they get taken out by a wooden plank. When one of them gets to Katie, she takes on a more interesting approach.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
Although that tactic doesn't work very well, and she winds up dangling over the city while clinging onto a bamboo stick. Shang-Chi runs towards her and gets there just in time. However, that moment is short-lived when he gets shocked and lets go of Katie. Ling comes to rescue and grabs Katie with her legs. Shang-Chi tries to interrogate one of them, but Ling has other ideas. With an explosive, Death Dealer makes his way into the picture and snacks her pendant. Before he gets to the helicopter, he gets tackled to the ground by Shang-Chi. They exchange some punches here, kicks there, and play hot potato with his daggers. He gets pinned to the ground, but before he can finish the job, the Ten Rings latch onto him and flings him off. Our final fight scene is when Shang-Chi confronts his father because he believes Wenwu is responsible for the death of his mother. He blocks Shang-Chi's attacks with his rings, and a slow-mo kick brings him to the ground. It blocks Shang-Chi. Wenwu was upset that Shang-Chi did nothing to protect her when the gang came over. He tries to land a hit when he has his back turned, but he grabs the staff and brings it around town. Wenwu shoots his rings at him, but he's able to deflect them with the staff. Shang-Chi is able to get a handful of blows on him and brings Wenwu to his knees. He says his mom wouldn't want anything to do with him even if he was able to bring her back. Apparently that was the last straw because Wenwu grabs the staff and blasts Shang-Chi into the water. But don't count him out yet. The Great Protector brings him out of the water and he munches on a few soul suckers along the way. But when he gets to the gate, Wenwu's trying to break it down. He tells him that his wife isn't back there and that he's being tricked by the Dweller in Darkness. When he doesn't listen, Shang-Chi uses some of the Tai Chi moves he learned during training to spin him right around like a record baby. Wenwu extends his rings and uses them as a whip before he turns it into a three-bladed disc. Shang-Chi catches them and does the spinning move to gain possession of them. They have a sword fight, but instead of the swords, they're using the rings, but you know, potato potato. Then use the rings to create this chain thing and stare each other down for a little bit. Shang-Chi wraps his rings around him and slingshots him at a rock. He kicks off a rock and shoots his rings into the ground to create a mini earthquake and sends Shang-Chi into the sky. When he gets them back, he blasts him into the ground. Little did he know that was a big mistake, because now Shang-Chi has possession of all 10 rings. Now this is the moment we've been waiting for. The rings take on the shape of a sphere, and... Now this is the moment... Huh? The Dweller in Darkness has enough energy to break through the gate, and Wenwu pushes him out of the way. Unfortunately for him, his soul gets eaten, and before he dies, he transfers the ring to Shang-Chi. Unfortunately for him, he heads for the village but gets surrounded by a water vortex. It gains more power after being fed some more souls and breaks free. It tries to suck out the dragon's soul and gets incredibly close to doing so. However, a lucky shot by Katie stops the whole thing. It gets trapped in the water vortex again and he gets the rings into its mouth. He does some hand motions to destroy the Dweller in Darkness from the inside out.
Calm down, mate. I'm not dead, it's just a performance. Now get down here, play along.